Welcome to our channel. Today we are making a cranberry almond bread. Looks like this, very tasty, smells great. And this is how it looks inside. I hope you can see it well. A fine thing. For our cranberry almond bread, we need cranberries, of course, butter, sugar, salt, creme fraiche, yeast, an egg, and 500 grams of wheat flour. And of course, almond milk, which I have here. I used an almond milk here that is lightly roasted, but you can also use regular almond milk. It's a matter of taste. Both work well. You can taste it wonderfully. The dough preparation is relatively simple. First, I crumble my yeast into my bowl again. That is very important. Then comes the almond milk, the liquid in this case. Then I have my flour here, which I now put on top. Into the flour go salt and sugar. The whole thing. I mix a little beforehand, just so that I don't place the ingredients directly on top of each other. Finally, the butter comes in. Then creme fraiche. Then the egg on the flour. I do this so that I don't bring the fatty components in this concept, butter and creme fraiche, directly into contact with the yeast. That would slow down the activity of the yeast a bit. This is also the first step for now. I now knead this for about 5 minutes on the second setting, and then I pause the dough or the kneading process at the moment. And then our cranberries are added. I just fold them in. The dough has now been in the bowl for exactly 7 minutes, and that's also the time between 5 and 8 minutes. I let it knead nicely to a homogeneous consistency beforehand, which you can also see well in the video. And now I take it out of the bowl. I make it a little smaller now, a little round. Can also stretch and fold. You can already see how nice it is. It doesn't stick, it's not too wet or too dry, it's just right because it's so nice. I tell everyone else too. Do I put it back in my bowl now? Or rather, I still need the bowl shortly. Of course I put it in a bowl. Sorry. Once in here, cover it up. And now it stays in a warm place for 45 to 60 minutes. It always depends on how warm the place actually is. I like to let it rise well because it benefits the dough in terms of aroma, but also later in processing. That's why I tend more towards an hour. Well, and we'll see each other again in an hour. The dough has now rested for 60 minutes. It was very nice and warm in our kitchen. There, it has risen well and visibly increased in volume, as you can see. That's important. I'll take it out now. Put the bowl aside. Knead it a little more. And make 2 equally sized pieces out of it. That's approximately, both are, yes, equally heavy. I will now work on both parts, pulling and folding them, or rather shaping them into rounds. But it's okay if the proofing relaxes a bit. It has really risen well. It needs to be placed. The side makes a second round piece of dough out of it. And set it aside briefly again. This is the relaxation time that such a dough needs. This is about 5 to 10 minutes. As mentioned, it also always depends on the room temperature. I will let it rest a bit more now. The dough needs to regenerate a little. And then I will process it into 2 loaves, a small oval loaf and a round loaf. Both loaves, by the way, in a basket with a length of 18 cm diameter. The 2 dough pieces have now had exactly 7 minutes of resting time. I had them covered. I will make one bread in a round shape, looks like this, and one in an oval shape. They are lightly floured, really just lightly, because later, before we put the breads in the oven, I will even brush off the flour. This is just to ensure that I can easily get them out of the baskets. So I am now taking the first piece of dough, and I will do it properly now. Round. I do this with the palm of my hand. Of course, you can also do it like this. That works too. It works really well. It's important that you make it nice and tight. And you see, I hardly need any flour for the whole process. It also comes off so well. I now turn it a little here, a bit more at the base. I place it with the seam side down into my round basket. Looks like this. This again. I also make a little round first, but just a little. And now I simply push it together. I open it up like this, as you can see next to the ends. Press in here with the thumb and then press it tight here once. And now I just shape it. That's important. Keep pushing it together because my basket, as you can see better this way, is only this long and the dough piece has to fit in there. So you can also pinch it here like this. That's not a problem at all. Shape it well, roll it well, so it closes nicely. And now you see, this is the seam. The seam goes on top. I just press it together once. That's how I place it in the basket now. That's how it looks. It fits perfectly. That's exactly how it should be. Both dough pieces, or rather proofing baskets, I leave here now. It's quite warm here by now. I cover it again. And that's how it stays now. Let it stand for between 45 and 60 minutes, depending on how warm it is. It might be different for you. It could also be that you only need about 35 minutes of proofing time. It's important to know, when they need to go into the oven by simply taking your finger and pressing in. And if a dent forms that is clearly visible but rises back up, then your dough piece is just right to be put into the oven. But that will take a little while longer. The dough pieces have now been resting for 45 minutes. I'll uncover them now. You can see they have risen nicely as well. Now the test again. I press my finger in here and you can see the dent forms but rises back up. Now is exactly the moment when it should go into the oven. For that, I take my baking sheet and first I'll place my round dough piece here on the sheet and then the oval one as far apart as possible so they don't take away each other's heat while baking. Now I brush them off again because I don't want too much flour on my bread. With this one, I don't find it so nice. If you like it, you can leave it, no question about it. I remove a bit of it just like that, downwards. I leave the round one as it is. You can already see how it cracks open here, and it will be like that during baking as well. And now I cut the elongated one 3 times. So now they go into the oven. It will rise again shortly. With steam, of course, at 190 degrees for a quarter of an hour. And then I reduce the heat to 170 degrees for another 20-25 minutes. Let's see what comes of it. So, our cranberry almond breads, the two that I made from one dough, have just come out of the oven. They were in there for exactly 38 minutes. The recipe states how you need to manage the temperature. They are very well done, still very warm and smell wonderful. I can only recommend this bread to you. It's very delicious. Thank you for watching. I enjoyed showing it to you. As always, you can find the recipe and all further instructions for this bread in this video under our video description. I say thank you and look forward to next time with you on our channel.